No matter what age you're living in, there is never any shortage of ignorant fools who want you to toss everything ancient and traditional straight into the garbage, because obviously all human learning and wisdom and knowledge began when the current generation arrived on the scene. I mean, duh. And you know what I submit as Exhibit A in my thesis that says they are all idiots? February 29th. Leap Day to its friends. That day that arrives every so often to remind us that sometimes it takes many, many thousands of years of everybody on the planet working the same problem in order to solve it. Even a problem as simple as, how long is a year? And we have February 29th, but only a couple times a decade, as a reminder that our answer to that question is still a decidedly imperfect one, and a reminder also that the problems we still have with our calendar today, while they are less numerous and generally less severe, they're still basically the same problems that Julius Caesar was trying to solve back in 45 BC when he created the calendar we pretty much still use today. Notwithstanding, of course, the helpful series of tweaks that it received from Pope Gregory the 13th in the late 16th century, and the other little tweak it received in the late 18th century. And if you want to talk about writing your name in the annals of history in great, big, bold letters, in all likelihood, people will still be using a slightly modified version of Julius Caesar's calendar for another 10,000 years from now, if not longer, and I suspect that probably wouldn't surprise him in the slightest. It's easy enough to keep track of the passage of time from, external observational cues. There are 4 seasons. They each last 90 days or so. Then they repeat. Boom, that's a year. The moon's got a 28-day cycle. Then that repeats. We'll call that a month. It's right there in the name and everything. And we have a 24-hour day-night cycle during which, from our perspective, the heavens, the celestial sphere, if you will, does a full revolution in the sky. So that's a day. But what's an hour? And what's a minute? And what's a second? Well, to use the preferred parlance of the young purple-haired wokesters, those are just social constructs. They're things we invented that aren't measurable against any external cues. We just needed units of time measurement that were smaller than a day. So no matter how well you arrange your calendar, the amount of real time that it takes the Earth to go around the sun will never be exactly the same as the certain number of hours and minutes and seconds, and thus you wind up with a year that's 365 days and a few hours long, and every 4 years we add a day to February to sync everything back up, except not quite. Because even that rule isn't hard and fast. Every 100 years they skip a leap year unless it's a year divisible by 400. I am not making up any of that, and I swear to God I never heard it before. I'm kind of amazed, actually. Here, I will read out the reference just like a fancy academic. Quote, every year that is exactly divisible by 4 is a leap year, except for years that are exactly divisible by 100, but these centurial years are leap years if they are exactly divisible by 400. For example, the years 1700, 1800, and 1900 are not leap years, but the years 1600 and 2000 are. End quote. You got all that? Hope so, because there's a quiz on Friday. I feel like the Tin Man after he explained how to get the square root of an isosceles triangle. I don't know what any of it meant, but it sure sounded pretty. The point being, will you look at the number of weird esoteric hoops that we still have to jump through just to keep Julius Caesar's calendar aligned with the astronomical reality? Sometimes it takes us many, many thousands of years trying to figure a thing out, and the battle still ain't won. If you want more evidence, take a look at what happened each time some group of self-satisfied radical douchebags took over a country and tried to proclaim their own brand new calendar. Or, more broadly yet, each time some group of self-satisfied radical douchebags took over a country and tried to dispense with the ancient and the traditional in all sectors of public life because, there's a certain series of events that always accompanies that narrative, really. It begins with the pulling down of the statues and the demonizing of the formerly revered historical figures. Then it moves on to the political cleansing of the libraries and the school curricula. And then, before you know it, just like that, God damn it, guys, we've got to hire a whole shitload of guillotine operators. Pronto! From high atop the battlements of Castle Curmudgeon, where Black George Washington knocked me up and female George Washington paid for the abortion. Good evening, Mr. and Mrs. America, and all ships at sea. Welcome to the program. I am your eponymous host and humble servant. And you remember the other day when I was remarking to no one in particular about how much fun it would be If there was a movie, a series of movies even, about a team of time-traveling, racially diverse George Washingtons, well, I think you probably already know where this story is headed, because wouldn't it create such a beautiful bit of full-circle poetic synergy if you took an idea that originated with the idiocy of a woke AI chatbot and used the idiocy of a second woke AI chatbot to give it wings and bring it into full flower? So in the interest of full disclosure, here is exactly what I typed into ChatGPT. Quote, write a script about a team of ethnically diverse time-traveling George Washingtons. End quote. That's it. Because I like to give the robot as much creative latitude as possible. Now, can I guarantee I won't throw in any extemporaneous bonus material? No, I cannot. Title, The Timeless Patriots. Fade in. Exterior time lab. Day. We see a futuristic laboratory nestled in the heart of a bustling metropolis. A sign reads, Temporal Dynamics Research Facility. Inside, scientists in lab coats buzz around working on complex machinery. Interior lab. Day. Dr. Elizabeth Wong, a brilliant scientist in her mid-30s, is at the center of the chaos, overseeing the operation. She approaches a group of 5 individuals, each resembling a different version of George Washington, but with subtle ethnic variations. Dr. Wong, into a microphone. Initiate temporal displacement sequence. The lab technicians punch buttons and the room fills with a blinding light. Exterior Revolutionary War. Day. The light fades, revealing a battlefield during the American Revolutionary War. Smoke billows and the sound of musket fire fills the air. Our team of George Washingtons emerges, armed and ready for battle. Black George Washington, grinning. We're back, boys. Mexican George Washington, let's show them what we're made of! The team charges into battle, displaying remarkable combat skills and strategic prowess. Interior time lab. Day. Dr. Wong monitors the situation anxiously as she communicates with the team through a two-way communicator. Dr. Wong. Be careful, gentlemen. Remember, altering the past could have unforeseen consequences. Exterior Revolutionary War. Day. The team fights valiantly, turning the tide of battle with their unmatched abilities. They share moments of camaraderie amidst the chaos, forming an unbreakable bond. Chinese George Washington. We must secure the supply line. Native American George Washington. Flank them from the east. I will. Suddenly, a cannonball explodes nearby, sending the team flying. Interior time lab. Day. Dr. Wong gasps in horror as she sees the explosion on the monitor. Dr. Wong into the communicator. Are you all right? Exterior Revolutionary War. Day. The team rises, battered but determined to continue the fight. Female George Washington. We're fine, Doctor. Just a minor setback. They rally together, pushing forward with renewed vigor. Exterior battlefield. Day. The team's efforts turn the tide of battle, leading to a decisive victory for the American forces. As they celebrate, Dr. Wong initiates the temporal displacement sequence. Interior time lab. Day. The team reappears in the lab, victorious but weary. Dr. Wong. You did it! You changed the course of history! Black George Washington, smiling. We couldn't have done it without your guidance, Doctor. As they prepare for their next mission, the team shares a moment of unity, knowing that their journey through time has only just begun. Fade out. The Timeless Patriots Part 2, Legacy of Liberty. Fade in. Exterior time lab. Day. The Temporal Dynamics Research Facility stands amidst the city skyline, its futuristic architecture contrasting with the surrounding buildings. Inside the lab is a hive of activity as scientists prepare for another temporal mission. Interior lab. Day. Dr. Elizabeth Wong paces nervously, surrounded by monitors and flashing lights. Dr. Wong. We need to act quickly. Our intel suggests a crucial moment in the Civil War is under threat. The team of ethnically diverse George Washingtons stands ready, their determination unwavering despite the challenges ahead. Mexican George Washington. We won't let history be altered on our watch! Dr. Wong nods, acknowledging their resolve. Dr. Wong. Initiate temporal displacement sequence. Exterior Civil War battlefield. Day. The team materializes amidst the chaos of a Civil War battlefield. Cannons roar and the ground trembles under the weight of advancing troops. The team surveys the scene, ready to intervene. Chinese George Washington. We need to prevent the enemy from seizing that strategic position. Native American George Washington. Lead a diversionary charge and draw their fire. I will. With precision and skill, the team executes their plan, outmaneuvering the enemy and securing the crucial position. Interior Time Lab. Day. Dr. Wong monitors the situation anxiously, her fingers flying over the controls. Dr. Wong.
You're doing great, but be cautious. Any alterations could have ripple effects through history.
Exterior Civil War battlefield. Day. The team presses on, their courage and determination inspiring those around them. Despite facing overwhelming odds, they refuse to yield, fighting for the future they believe in. Female George Washington. We can't let them break our spirit. Hold the line. Their rallying cry echoes across the battlefield as they stand firm against the tide of battle. Exterior battlefield. Day. Victory hangs in the balance as the team's efforts tip the scales in favor of the Union forces. The enemy retreats, defeated but not broken. Interior Time Lab. Day. Dr. Wong initiates the temporal displacement sequence and the team returns to the lab, weary but triumphant. Dr. Wong. You've done it again. History has been preserved thanks to your bravery. The team exchanges nods of satisfaction, knowing they've made a difference once more. Black George Washington. It's an honor to serve alongside you, Doctor. As they prepare for their next mission, they reflect on the importance of their work, knowing that the legacy of liberty is in their hands. Fade out. The Timeless Patriots Part 3, Guardians of Tomorrow. Fade in. Exterior Time Lab. Day. The Temporal Dynamics Research Facility hums with activity as scientists rush to prepare for another mission. Inside, Dr. Elizabeth Wong stands before the team of ethnically diverse George Washingtons, her expression grave. Dr. Wong. Our next mission is our most critical yet. We're facing a threat to the very fabric of time itself. The team nods solemnly, understanding the gravity of the situation. Mexican George Washington. We won't let history unravel on our watch. Ándale pues! Dr. Wong nods, a sense of determination in her eyes. Dr. Wong. Initiate temporal displacement sequence. Exterior Futuristic City. Day. The team materializes in a futuristic metropolis, skyscrapers towering above them, but something is amiss. The city is in chaos with people fleeing in panic and strange distortions rippling through the air. Chinese George Washington. What in the name of liberty is happening here? Dr. Wong's voice crackles over their communicators. Dr. Wong.
We've detected a temporal anomaly destabilizing the timeline. You need to find the source and neutralize it before it's too late.
The team sets out, navigating the chaos of the city streets with determination. Interior Time Lab. Day. Dr. Wong monitors the situation anxiously, her brow furrowed with worry. Dr. Wong.
Stay focused, gentlemen. The fate of the future depends on your success.
Exterior Futuristic City. Day. The team encounters resistance as they search for the source of the anomaly, facing off against advanced robotic sentinels and temporal rifts threatening to tear reality apart. Native American George Washington. Need to shut down the temporal generator. We must. Female George Washington. I'll create a diversion and draw their fire. With unwavering resolve, the team presses on, determined to restore order to the timeline. Exterior Futuristic City. Day. As the team battles their way through the chaos, they finally reach the heart of the temporal anomaly. With skill and precision, they neutralize the threat, restoring balance to the timeline. Interior Time Lab. Day. Dr. Wong breathes a sigh of relief as she sees the anomaly dissipate on the monitors. Dr. Wong.
You did it! The timeline has been stabilized!
The team shares a moment of triumph, knowing they've saved not just the past, but the future as well. Black George Washington. It's an honor to fight beside you, Doctor. We'll always be the guardians of tomorrow. As they prepare for their next mission, they stand united, ready to face whatever challenges the tides of fame may bring. Or the tides of time. I think I read that last part wrong. Fade out, at any rate. Also, watch the blast radius. Do not comply. Get the fuck off my lawn.